Welcome to What's the Biz, your place for business and entrepreneurship. And I have my friend here, Emerie Gentry with Lanyard Prime. Emerie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I had to have you on the show. You are one of the icons here in our area. You do so much and so well respected. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about your business.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the nice comments. Of course, my name is Emerie, and I'm a business owner. I own Lanyard Prime. Prime is an acronym for Public Relations, Integrated Marketing, and Events. And so that's kind of the umbrella of things that I do, whether it's media relations, community relations, event planning, social media management, public relations, all of the above.
Awesome. So tell us some of the brands that you represent and some of the events that you are responsible for.
So I would be remiss if I didn't mention Shelly with Skinny Louisiana, because that is kind of how I got started. So Skinny Louisiana is a brand that I've been working with since the beginning. And then I have a conglomerate of really wonderful clients that range from chiropractors like Dr. Rodney Cruz or Dr. Kim, and I have a lot of fun events that I work with, whether it's the Shreveport Farmers Market or the Highland Jazz and Blues Festival, the upcoming Revel, and so that's all kind of fun stuff. The Shreveport Aquarium.
Awesome, awesome. And she's involved in pretty much everything here in Northwest Louisiana and Shreveport. So tell us, what got you into this type of business, doing events and doing marketing?
I would say I have no idea. However, from childhood, I have been the event planner or the bossy one. And like they joke and say in high school, I'd be like, that's not how we do stuff around here.
Right.
So I think, being involved at a young age in certain things, whether it was student council or something like that, and I would plan pep rallies or help plan the dances and stuff like that, it just always kind of gravitated towards that. And when I went to college, a career advisor said, I said I wanted to be in public relations, and the advisor was like, no, that's not a good idea. There's only one person per company. There's not a good market for that. You need to do something else. So I hem-hauled around doing different things until here we are 19 years later, and this is what I'm doing.
Wow.
And so I made kind of a circle back.
Right.
But what I did was I took all of my jobs that I loved, or what I loved about the big girl jobs I've had, whether it be at the Shreveport Job Corps Center, where I was doing a lot of community relations there, and when I did advertising and sales at the mall properties, or when I helped do events with Courtney over at the CenturyLink Center.
Right.
Just taking all of those things and wrapping it into one and making it what I wanted to do as an entrepreneur.
Awesome, awesome. So we're just happy that you're here on our show and telling us a little bit about yourself. So in our next segment, we're going to kind of dive into what it is to be a business owner, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we'll be right back on What's the Biz. Thank you again for joining What's the Biz, your place for business and entrepreneurship. I'm here with Emerie Gentry. Emerie, now it's time to talk about some good stuff, not necessarily fun stuff, but let's talk about entrepreneurship, being a business owner, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So entrepreneurship has always been like the furthest thing that I wanted to do. My mother is an entrepreneur, and I was like, that sounds like death. I never ever want to do that. Like, let me just go somewhere, clock in, clock out, and go home. As I've grown older, I realized the importance of me setting that standard of what I want my business to be, and how living under other brands doesn't exactly fulfill that.
Right.
And so I had to create my own.
Exactly.
Which has been fun. I had no idea where to start, so I started at Cohab, and if y'all don't know what Cohab is, it is a co-working space here in the Shreveport-Bossier area, and they have a nonprofit side that helps people learn how to do, get into business and their tax IDs and blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah, all that good stuff, help with how much should you charge?
Exactly.
And, yeah, all that good stuff.
Right.
So that's, I went to Cohab and they kind of set me on the path and I went forward from there. And a lot of it was just winging it, because it all came at me very fast.
Right.
Once the word got out that Emerie's in business,
Right.
I got like 6 clients in a week and I was like, oh crap, I was not prepared for this.
Right, right.
However, you don't want to turn it down either.
Exactly.
And so I think that QuickBooks is my friend.
Yes.
QuickBooks is totally my friend. That is something I learned kind of early.
Right.
And I'm so grateful that I have that now. Cohab has been my friend, and if I have a problem, I can go to them and they help me answer those questions. Any kind of workshops that the Louisiana Small Development Center has done that have been helpful, how to
Right.
start a business, Google your business, all kinds of stuff, financials, those have been helpful. And then surrounding yourself with good people,
Right.
Making sure that you're doing business with people that you make them look good, but they make you look good. And so, working with you, for instance, you have a very reputable brand here in town, and I have a very reputable brand.
Right.
And so together, we make a powerful team.
Exactly.
And so, but never forgetting where you came from either, because once you go to the next step, you need to bring your people with you.
Right.
And that's a word of advice that I've kept for a long time, is like, don't forget where you came from.
Right.
And don't forget to bring those people with you as
Exactly.
you go. And making sure that you have a mentor, a good mentor that is honest, that is challenging, and making sure that you're giving that to someone else in return when the
Right.
time is right.
Right.
And all of those things are just a blessing in general, because entrepreneurship can be kind of lonely.
Right.
And so when you go from, like when I worked at the Shreveport Job Corps Center, I worked on a team of like 140 people. So I always had somebody to talk to.
Right.
And when you're working out of your home office or an office at Cohab, you're like, I'm so lonely. It's like, can I just call
Right.
and talk to somebody?
Right.
But that goes back to who you have around you.
Exactly. And like you say, that's so important to have that village. We always talk about a
Yes.
village for our families, but you also want to have a business village,
You
people
have
that you can
to.
talk to, or people that you can vent to that will give you wise counsel, or either give you real counsel at the same
Yeah.
time. So I think that's just very important in entrepreneurship, starting off, because like you say, it does get lonely.
It does.
Especially when you have to work all of the time, and your friends may be enjoying life, as we call it, while you're still planning and trying to get some things happening. So
And I think one of the other things is, you need to go out and do the things. You need to put the elbow grease in. You need to
Right.
go shake the hands and kiss the babies and do all of that good stuff. You can't ride someone else's coattail on that, and it kind of chaps my behind when some new people come in and like, I'm just going to skip A, B, and C to
Right.
get to D.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
no,
Right.
you're going to work.
Exactly. And sometimes when people do start at A and skip to D, they're not doing it for too long.
Exactly.
Kind of like the one-hit wonders a lot of times.
It's good, and I guess with me, I'm such a thorough person that, if I text somebody, I can't even do shorten it. Like, I have to type it out. I can't even skip, what is it? Abbreviation.
Right, the abbreviations. Wow. Well, thank you for those gems that you just shared with us. And we're going to go ahead. Next, we want to hear what's popping next. What's going on next for you, Lanyap Prime? So we'll talk about that in our next segment. So thank you for watching, and keep watching. We'll be right back.
Since I've been a child, I've always had an interest. I've played the trumpet in the past, the viola. Even when I listen to music, I hear the background. I hear the piano. I hear the instruments. As far as the foundation, I know that once you learn piano, you can build and go into other things. I I have been doing this for about 2.5 months, and it has been an amazing journey. So I came in almost knowing little to nothing about the piano, and I'm walking away knowing that I can play a strong song, and I know the foundation and the basics. Listen, play music.
So we're back here on What's the Biz with Emerie. So tell us, what are some things that you are excited about for 2020, 2025, even 2040 or 2050?
I look to hire someone to help. I've grown so blessed to have grown this fast, but you have to also remember to tell yourself when you can't do it all by yourself.
Right.
Y'all might think my cape flies, but I'm like, oh, that cape got holes in it.
Right,
you know,
right,
so looking forward to hiring someone. Looking forward to, I really don't want to recreate the wheel. I think Shreveport-Bossier has some great things to offer.
Yes.
So let's capitalize on that.
Exactly.
You know, if we're not getting the attendance to some events that we need to, how do we do that?
Right.
You know, if it's not being diverse enough, how do we fix that?
Right.
You know, so I don't want to recreate the wheel. I mean, Shreveport-Bossier gets a bad rap on things, but you can go to some other towns, and I don't want to like badmouth other towns.
Right.
But you know, even close to like Ruston, Natchitoches, Alexandria, it doesn't have half the things that we have here.
Right.
And I love those towns. I love them. And they all have unique things to them, but so do we. And I think people get lost and forget that.
Yes.
And so there's so many great opportunities to see Shreveport-Bossier thrive. And I just want to be a part of that. Eventually, maybe in 2025, I throw like a Shreveport Woodstock or something. Who knows? But you know, that's way down the line. We have a lot of events here, and you don't need to duplicate it. You know, we don't need two of certain things. We need to focus on what we have and making it grow.
Exactly.
And so that's where I come into the different entities here in town and help them build on that.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a really good plan, and we've seen your track record, so we know that you'll make it happen. So I'm excited for you. We're excited for you. Our community is excited for you. So thank you so much for joining us today and shedding some light on yourself and on some good things for future entrepreneurs to do. So again, you're watching What's the Biz. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. We have many more episodes to come, so make sure you stay tuned. Like us on Facebook, share this, all of that good stuff. We'll see you soon. Thank you.